Howdy, hi. I'm looking to start a new game. I'm going to have to delete one somewhere. Last time I deleted number 2, it deleted number 1, which is kind of scary. So let's delete number 4. What I'm going to do is start a normal game with winter at, I guess, 20 days. At some point I will do adventure. Supposedly on Wiki, and you have to dig, there's little dribbles of hotfix all through forums. There's like, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 little tiny hotfix, and why they don't put them together is beyond me. Anyway, the last, it's up on Wiki now that they put armor durability back to the sanity update level. And they increased the hit of the player from 33 to 34. Evidently, some things you were hitting had a hit point left, and so that required 1 extra hit. So I guess your combat skill is a tiny bit bigger. That might look more than that because of that 1 extra. I wish they would translate all that into player ease instead of giving me all the, the game jargon. But anyway, whatever. It's, it doesn't matter. So you might be a little better at there might be 1 less hit you have to do on some creatures, and I have no idea which ones. Eventually I want to do long summer because winter it's hard to get stuff done. It really is. It's just and the light levels are just crap. So, and I'm not saying it's not a good game to play or anything like that. I'm just saying eventually I'll be playing in long summer, my big game. What I want to do now though is shoot, how do you go back? You can't go back? Alright, now let's go back, assholes. So anyway, eventually I'll do a long summer game and it'll be my full-time game, but I want to go ahead and play winter as it is now, and I will do adventure at some point, but my impression of that is I'll just die in it. So I'm just going to go with standard Sandbox and see what the hell happens here. I've read many comments that there aren't tall birds in a lot of people's worlds, so I think they screwed up the code somewhere. With armor back to normal, my main game, I might do Wilson again, but I don't want to be confusing. I'd like to do Woofies for adventure, but to tell you the truth, I might do him now. Although it's kind of unfair because people won't have him to open with, but I think I'm going to do Wickerbottom because she's really got no advantages except the tech advantage, which of course is an advantage. So, and I did say is an advantage, and I don't know if I can survive. I honestly have no clue. I have no expectations. I may crash and burn big time. So this is a default Sandbox game. So winter should be here in 20 days. Well, howdy, hi Maxwell. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, this is a regular default Sandbox, and I'm playing Wickerbottom for no particular reason. I thought about Woofy. Supposedly they put the armor back to what it was before at the insanity update. So what I'm trying to do is get ready for winter. Before winter, I've got 20 days theoretically. This is not an adventure map, it's Sandbox. Now we need 3 grass and 2 wood for our first fire. Either that or we need to make a torch to get through the night. Now originally they made that cost more with the theory it would last all night, and the nights used to be longer and it did last all night plus, and now it, you know, lasts the little tiny short night plus. So I don't know. Seems like they cost more and don't burn as long now. So now I'm going to link a post to this where Kevin talks about introducing niter, N-I-T-E-R, to the game. Now niter, along with sulfur and charcoal, is what makes gunpowder. It's also called saltpeter. So now whether that's going to end up as basic firearms or explosives, I have no idea. I would kind of expect both. It's kind of funny. Eddie suggested a long time ago that they make a weapon out of the elephant's snout, make a blunderbuss out of it. But it's interesting they tell us it's not a combat game, and then they put gunpowder in it. Now, he didn't say when. He's just, I think right now there's a lot of pissed off people about the game. I've seen several long-time people in forums quit playing. And I don't mean that anybody else should quit or anything else. I don't think the game's unplayable. I love the game. I enjoy the game. There's also settings on Sandbox. You can increase the carrots and the berries just to really high levels, and you can give yourself a long summer, which gives you more time to get ready for winter. So you can adjust the difficulty if you're just starting this game out, if you're just starting playing this. So it's quite survivable. There is a lot to learn from Wiki, and it's hard to learn in forums when you're new. I would suggest finding somebody's videos you like that have some starting out videos on how to do things. Wickerbottom has a tech advantage. Other than that, she's pretty much vanilla. I'm going to play an adventure game where I don't cut the one trees because they're first level trees. It just doesn't seem like a worthwhile payoff. You got to pick up every piece of flint and every piece of wood if you're new to the game. Later on, you'll know that, like, if there's a bunch, like 7 or 8 berry bushes, you might not want to pick every berry because they might spoil before you get to them. I strongly recommend, if you're playing Wilson, that you build a meat effigy, but some people don't like to build them because they'd rather play hardcore, the rogue style, where if you die you lose everything. That makes perfect sense, but whether you want to start out your gameplay in this game that way is up to you. A lot of the experienced players know what the hell I'm doing now, so most of the talk is for those that aren't experienced in the game. I got mixed feelings about seeds. Last I looked, they had nerfed the hell out of their food value. They had a small healing value, which can actually pay off big dividends. So now she'll say you need a fire or her equivalent of it. Now this is forest, and there's usually not a lot of food in forests. And what we need is stone for our first science machine. Well, basically stone. I had to take a drink of water there. Basically stone, but mostly one piece of gold. So if we find a rock somewhere we can break down, the tools you start with are an axe. And I think, yeah, we've got enough wood for our first night's fire. Now with winter coming in 20 days, I'm going to grab more grass than I would normally. Now, in my experience, all this yellow is called savanna. I'll also refer to it as plains. And it's where the buffalo spawn, but they start normally the game, but they can wander a lot, especially later. And my experience, I have never yet started next to savanna that had beefalo in it. I'm not saying you won't, but I never have. Alright, there's one of a rock, and we need to make a fire. We could make a torch, and Kevin suggested exploring at night, but actually I've never had a lot of luck exploring at night because I can't see anything. Now I think the basic campfire now will last you through the hours of night. So, and this stuff here I always organize the same way in every game I play. Oh, I used all of my flint for that. And actually the grass goes there. But that way I always, if you have grass and wood, you can make a fire. And flint is basically tools, and sticks and grass is a torch. But all those will save your life at night. We could probably make our backpack. Now you can make one backpack and carry another. My son plays a lot of other games, and when he saw me doing that, he mentioned, I have no idea what game. He's played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games, and he studies gaming, and he's rather amazing. His name's Death Even 13. The only reason these videos are even up is he spent several hours making a checklist for me so I could do them. Now, Wickerbottom, I don't know if I said this, I'm probably repeating myself, but she's got a tech advantage, but nothing else. And I honestly don't know exactly what that breaks down to. Last I remember somebody telling me was it means she can build the first science machine and open all the science from it. So, I don't know. So, what do we got here? I haven't really... Well, that's okay. We don't need the wood, but it's not going to hurt anything. We should really, I don't know, we could wear out the axe and use that slot. So there's more savanna here. There's savanna here. Like I said, I've never found beefalo in it. Beefalo are your only source of warm clothes except for the coliphant trunk, which gives you the breezy vest. Unfortunately, it takes the place of the backpack. So that's kind of it's better than nothing. The winter coliphant gives you, his trunk gives you the puffy vest. So, and it's the better one. But again, it takes place of your backpack. I think the best thing is either the beefalo hat or the winter hat, both of which are made out of beefalo fur. Now, did I get gold? Yeah, so. Now, I always look at the first science machine as kind of a throwaway, because it used to be you'd kind of wait till you got your first base and build it, but anymore, and that was back, hell, I don't know how the hell, oh, I know why we did that. We had I don't remember now that I think about it. In the old game, if once you opened research, any game you started, even if you died, you had all that research still open. So that's probably why. In fact, it got so where basically you needed science machines mainly on updates for new items. Now, your most precious thing early on, see, we've only got 18 days left till winter. One of your most precious things early on is time. And actually, since they instituted winter, it's kind of become that way even in established games. Now I'm going to do adventure maps, and I'm eventually going to do adventure maps. I was asked to do this first. I'm going to create a world in my spare time where I have long summers, because in my big game I have with Wilson, as soon as winter's over, I'm trying to get ready for the next winter, and I'm not having any time for the projects I used to do. But that Wilson world doesn't have the McTusks in it. So got to do a new game, but I'm going to keep the Wilson world until I do. Now you can make a sanity garland out of 12 flowers if you have a science machine. But with the sanity at 200, I'm not entirely worried about that yet.